Good morning. If that video didn't get your pulse pounding, I don't know what will. Bremerton Foodline is on the move, and not just physically. Their commitment to this community goes far beyond the walls of their food pantry. They're reimagining what food access, dignity, and care look like in Kitsap County. My name is Jay Clayton, Operations and Sales Manager at First Security Bank. I'm proud to be here today, not only because First Security Bank is a visionary sponsor, but because this mission is deeply personal to me. If you've spoken with my friend Morgan Huffman, you know she's a great storyteller. The more I hear Morgan talk about the impact Bremerton Foodline has in our community, the more those stories sounded like my own. From growing up the child of a single mother with almost enough to make ends meet, to a young man cooking in some of Seattle's most exclusive restaurants, but living off little more than my shift meals. I know the impact food banks make, and I know the impact Bremerton Foodline makes right here. It's real and it's powerful. But I'm clearly not the only one who sees the impact Foodline has in our community. Just look around this room. We have community leaders, elected officials, nonprofit partners, longtime supporters, volunteers, and business leaders gathered here this morning. And in just a couple of hours, this room will fill again with hundreds more who care deeply about this work. Now, events like today don't happen without incredible support. We're grateful to have 14 sponsors who've helped make this morning possible. Your investment in this mission is what allows moments like this and the work beyond today to happen. Thank you for standing with Bremerton Foodline and this community. Now, before we go any further, I'd love to recognize our 2026 table captains. Please raise your hands. Thank you for being ambassadors for Bremerton Foodline and for bringing guests who are ready to listen, learn, and give. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to the third annual Bridging the Gap and to introduce a leader whose vision is shaping the future of food access in our community. Please join me in welcoming Bremerton Foodline Executive Director, Corey Kalk.
All right. Nelson Mandela said, "Do not look the other way. Do not hesitate. Recognize that the world is hungry for action, not words. Act with courage and vision." So I'm here to say thank you for refusing to look the other way and for standing by me and Bremerton Foodline as we address and confront, hunger and poverty in our community head on. I'm going to share some poverty data. It paints a very sobering picture of what is happening in Kitsap County. And this data is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to food insecurity in our community. There are nearly 22,000 individuals living in our community who are living below the poverty line. 2,000 of these individuals are veterans navigating a disability. 4,000 are senior citizens surviving on a fixed income. And the point in time count estimated that nearly 650 individuals were experiencing homelessness on a cold January night this year. 46% of the people who are unhoused in our community reside in Bremerton. So this is something that I actually lose sleep over because I often am asking myself, if at Bremerton Foodline in 2025, we served 11,000 unique individuals, but there are 22,000 people in Kitsap County living below the poverty line, who are we missing? Why are they not accessing services at our organization? And where are the gaps in our social service network that Bremerton Foodline might be able to step into and make a bigger impact? Without a doubt, there are many partners in this room. And without a doubt, our clients are also getting services from those organizations across Kitsap. Hundreds, maybe thousands of people are getting a meal every single day from organizations like Meals on Wheels, Life Point Church, New Day Ministry, and Salvation Army, just to name a few. But today is about showcasing just how on the move we actually are at Bremerton Foodline. And a very huge part of that is because of our connectivity and our networking across this whole county. Bremerton Foodline's unique value proposition is that we are not just a food pantry. We are Kitsap County's redistribution organization. How many people knew this is what we do? Check out that slide. We don't share this story enough. This is super important. As the centralized hub for Kitsap, in 2025, we received and we organized and we redistributed more than 2.3 million pounds of food to over 35 different partners. If we were not doing this work, our community would look a lot different. Our food system across our region would be fragmented, like that, hot mess. We would be far less effective as a whole, and it would be far less affordable. So even with pushing all this food out across the county, my peer food bank directors and I know that there are still too many people simply going without. At Bremerton Foodline, we believe that everyone has the right to access healthy and nutritious food. We believe that no one should go hungry. So I'm going to go back to Nelson Mandela. Belief and words are just not enough. That's why my team shows up every single day asking, can we do more? And what can we do better? And the answer has been innovation, expansion, and bold action. Here's what we accomplished in 2025. We kept up meeting a massively growing demand. What used to be a busy day of serving 75 households, today is serving 175 households in just 1 year period of time. That's a massive change. We launched new programs like our Groceries on the Go program, which you'll get to hear more about from Erin. We now share our space with lots of different professional nonprofit organizations that provide case management so they can help our clients get their needs met even more. And we welcomed a mobile medical and dental services on our site. We spent our first full year in our newly renovated food pantry space that is so well loved by our clients and our volunteers because it is super gracious and it is absolutely filled with dignity. I feel very proud about that. We expanded our food project program, which maybe some of you heard about in our first breakfast in 2024. To date, the food project has received and shared over 75,000 pounds of food. We have 53 neighborhood coordinators, and starting in June, drop-off sites will be at ShareNet, Fishline, CK, North Mason, and Bremerton Foodline. Now imagine that program if we had 100 neighborhood coordinators. And while I'm super proud of the impact we had in 2025, I am even more excited about what is next. So over the next 2 years, my vision is going to be highly focused on people, partners, and process. We're going to deepen the work we're doing in the redistribution program that I shared. We want to increase the level of support we're giving to our meal programs so that they can do what they're really good at and we can do what we're really good at so we can feed even more people across our county. We're going to provide fresh produce bags to Kayak. They're currently serving 200 households every single month, and they're giving out non-perishable groceries, and our goal is to add a healthy element to that program so that those families are getting more of their needs met. We plan to double the number of people we're serving in our Groceries to Go program, and we're looking at expanding our service hours so that we can do even more for our community. So for all my partners out there, you'll be glad to hear this. This is an area of opportunity for growth for Bremerton Foodline. We're still learning, but our goal is to strengthen our redistribution systems and processes so that every partner agency across Kitsap has greater access with streamlined efficiency and affordability to nutritious food, toiletries, and diapers. And lastly, we're going to turn the old dilapidated shed that's behind our building into a usable food warehouse. I hope my board members heard that. Did you know we were going to do that? They're like, Corey, that's Corey. She's just always dreaming big, but I think that we can. So as you can see, Bremerton Foodline is not standing still. We are moving forward. And when crisis hits, we move even faster.
Mary, the head of the local food bank here tells me that they had an even greater impact here than maybe other communities because of the thousands locally who work at the shipyard and are not getting a paycheck right now. And though
we lost about 30 to 35% of our business since the shutdown started, which is a huge number considering we are a very small family-owned business.
There's market uncertainty around it. That's kind of halting everything, which affects everybody. It's going to have reaching effects into the economy, and even things long-term like, detriment to the...
Hundreds of households lined up behind the Walmart in Bremerton. A reminder even those who serve can struggle to put food on the table.
It definitely helps us, especially with the government shutdown going on.
Oh yeah, that thing happened. So when the government shutdown impacted our community, we responded immediately. We added service hours just for federal employees, and we served 1,100 brand new families who'd never been to our food bank and many who have never been to a food bank before. When SNAP benefits were disrupted, demand surged. I think surged is an understatement. It skyrocketed at Bremerton Foodline. And we doubled our operating hours, expanding to meet the need head on. We are so proud to be an agency that responds with strategy, compassion, and action. Bremerton Foodline can have the courage to dream big because we are not making this impact alone. Our community has jumped into action with us because you believe in us and you believe in the work that we do. So thank you. And now I am honored to introduce two voices who will bring this impact to life in a deeply personal way. First, you're going to get to hear from David Nelson, editor at the Kitsap Sun, who has followed the growth and changes of our nonprofit for the many years that he has worked at the Sun. Then you'll also get to hear from our very own Erin Hale. She's our program manager whose leadership has helped every person we serve feel seen, feel valued, and to feel supported. So thank you so much. Where are you at, David? Come on up.
Thanks, Corey. Thanks for saying many years. That was nice. It's true. This is a great turnout. I like seeing so many faces that I recognize. And it's no surprise. This has been such a good event the last few years. Corey and Morgan and their team have done a wonderful job in the last 2.5 years. I think you'd all agree with that. And I actually especially like hear that. Especially these centerpieces. Those are just perfect. There's definitely an energy and an urgency to the work being done by Bremerton Foodline, and you've heard some of those examples. I think you're going to hear some more. Like Corey said, I've been the editor of The Sun for 18 years. And the news clips that you watched on the screen there had many of our headlines. That's a story that they aren't all just from last fall. It's been something we've covered consistently, the need here and the reactions to it. I think one important thing to say is I'm not here to just tell you bad stories that happened. We've had a lot of headlines of really good things that happened too. We did cover the drops in federal funding that took away some of the fresh produce problems or fresh produce programs. Obviously the shutdown and how it affected people's lives, but there was also stories about local farms stepping in, doing things on their own to provide produce. There were stories about one of the really popular photo galleries last year was the Thanksgiving turkey trot that the Foodline has started and become a great Thanksgiving tradition here in Bremerton. Thousands of people come out, they raise money, and they have a fun time. And so we like to make sure we write those stories too. There's also an annual story that I've been able to tell for 18 years. And it's not a news one, it doesn't get on the clips because it's really old. And it's about the Kitsap Sun Bell Ringer. Any of you who give to that, thank you very much. The Bell Ringer is a reader fundraiser. So our readers all give money and it all goes to food banks and it's over 100 years old. It's older than the newspaper itself. It was started by a different newspaper. We took it over, continued it going. Last year we raised $75,000. I got to bring Corey and Morgan a check for a portion of that. We help everyone in Kitsap with it. And the reason I say it is to point out that the DNA to address food insecurity, to help your neighbor, goes back a long, long way in this community. There's nothing new about it. It's what we do. We are just the latest generation doing it. And so the Bell Ringer shows that. It writes it down. And that generosity is on display right now. Last fall, like Corey said, the country experienced a 43-day shutdown. A lot of people here that had benefits frozen as well, leading to like the 40% increase that she mentioned. You saw those stories in our work. Military families, people with good government jobs were suddenly on the edge. That really opened my eyes to the number of people who they miss one paycheck and there isn't enough. I think that showed the need. It showed people who maybe weren't my stereotypical food bank clients were going to the food bank, and that was in some of our reporting. We also heard stories about restaurants that stepped up, gave people meals, gave government workers meals, gave government workers free coffees, even that little thing just to say you're supported when you're in this time. There were groups in Paulsbo that organized dinners, and people, it was military families, it was immigrant families, it was all kinds of people showed up for them and did that. So again, even the city of Bremerton took part waiving, delaying certain bills when people were pinched. And so it was really an effort that went all around. And Foodline was one of the organizations that stepped in there as well. They were in the stories too. Corey told me how when the shutdown started, one of her employees suggested they should extend hours on Wednesday nights. And the reason that employee had empathy was because that employee's family had just missed a paycheck. It was very personal. They weren't just hearing stories, they were living the stories. And so Foodline pivoted within a week. Wednesday evening hours were open to serve families. That change still is going on now. They've learned from it. On Sunday morning, 10 a.m., I drove down High Street. I had to go to the high school for something, and it caught my eye that there were people lined up around the block there. And I remembered, oh, that's right, they are open. I drove past, I got my business done, and 2 hours later drove past again, and there were still people lined up. So if that tells you, even on Sunday, when that works for those families to be there, Foodline has been able to pivot to that. That's part of clearly a service that works, getting help to those who need it. All that is why what Foodline did last fall and is still doing matters so much. They weren't just responding to a need, they were responding to a sudden community-wide disruption that affected thousands of our neighbors. Now they are using those lessons to move forward and continue being a trusted, reliable, and flexible partner that meets the needs that continue to evolve. I think that's the kind of compassion, but also the kind of strategy and good use of this money that deserves your support. And I think I'm gonna invite Aaron Hale to come up next.
Thank you so much, David. I just want to wish you a happy Volunteer Appreciation Week. We are so deeply grateful to our volunteers, Our team of 8 simply could not do this work without them. And many of you are here today, so if I could get a little wave from all of you. And please give them a round of applause. In March of last year, we received funding to expand access to healthy food for seniors. As we observed and learned of the difficulty some of our clients had in getting to the food pantry, we began asking, what if we could bring the food directly to them? Just one day later, we received a call from Karen. Karen lived alone in a makeshift motel apartment with no real kitchen, no transportation, and very low on hope. She wondered, is there any way groceries could be delivered directly to me? Inspired by a previously tried and true program Corey had created for another organization years earlier, Groceries on the Go was brought to life at Bremerton Foodline. We had a logo and an intake form by that evening, as well as an appointment to meet Karen in our space. Built from a list of Karen's preferences and health needs, we arrived with a box of fresh produce and goodies, and we were met with German charm, youthful joy, the cunning wit of a comedian, and the gifts of an incredible storyteller. I might get a little emotional. I'm sorry, I love her so much. I would love to stand up here and share all the stories that we've learned. We learned on that day and since. What we delivered wasn't just food. Corey and I listened to story after unbelievable story of a woman who fled Marxist East Germany to Oregon in the early 60s, somehow landing in Bremerton, where she bought a bar and owned and ran it for 30 years. Who recognizes this space? Still around today. We'd happened upon a true historian and local celebrity who sacrificed her amassed wealth trying to save the love of her life, her husband, who was taken by Lou Gehrig's disease. The twists and turns of her life, of which should honestly be written into a novel, led her to this moment. Never having been in this situation before, we were her lifeline. We delivered care and we delivered connection. Hesitant to leave with a longing for more stories, we embraced Karen like family. Before we opened the door to leave, Karen said something I will never forget. I appreciate the groceries, but what I appreciate more is that you made me feel a little less lonely today. That moment changed everything. Although Karen is most certainly unique, the story of need and loneliness is not. There are seniors in our community who go days without meaningful interaction. Veterans who can't easily leave their homes. Neighbors facing mobility, health, transportation, and technology barriers, quietly struggling and often unseen. And today, what started with one delivery has grown into 65 households every other week. Each delivery is personalized to meet dietary and health needs. Each interaction is intentional. Each visit is an opportunity to remind someone, you matter. You are seen. And we don't do this work alone. Our partners show up to help deliver not just food, but connections across our community. To expedite the genesis of this program, we first reached out to Kitsap Harvest, a gleaning organization providing last-mile distribution to affordable senior housing, among others. Meals on Wheels was also a natural partner and was enthusiastically on board. Both welcomed us to use their existing transportation systems to avoid reinventing the wheel. Thank you, Bert. Thank you, Ed. This is what collaboration and innovation looks like. Together, we are not just feeding people, we are building relationships, strengthening community, and restoring dignity. As you've all heard and you'll continue to hear, we are just getting started. By the end of this year, our goal is to serve 100 households through groceries on the go. And we know how we're going to get there. By expanding our volunteer driver network, continuing to strengthen partnerships, expanding the ways in which we can provide help, and continuing to invest in the infrastructure to sustainably grow this program. The need is very present, and the opportunity to make a difference is even greater. What began as one question from Karen has become something so much bigger than a program. It's become a promise that no one in our community is forgotten. As an organization, we've taken this opportunity to equip ourselves, accumulating resources that better serve our elder community, connecting acute need to the help that they didn't even know was available. In addition to receiving groceries, Karen now has Kitsap Transit access, as well as a new doctor who helps her also feel seen. She often tells me that I saved her life. Recently, we celebrated 1 year since she came into our lives, and somewhere along the way, I was lucky enough to be adopted as her honorary granddaughter. When I delivered Karen's box just last week, I asked her if she'd join me here for lunch because she's not shy about her preference to sleep in. But the next morning, she called me early to share something that she felt that I needed to understand. She told me about growing up in East Germany, where her mother would send her out to search for potato peelings, anything that could be turned into a meal. She'd scrub them clean, salvaging what others had discarded. And every once in a while, she would find a single clove of garlic. Something so small, but to her, it felt like Christmas. Sorry, you guys. Through tears, she said, receiving these boxes brings back that feeling, that same sense that something good has found its way to me. I'm so grateful for all you do. Like many of our groceries on the go clients, who live in deeply, deeply challenging circumstances, Karen values her privacy and doesn't feel comfortable being on camera. We tried. Although we want to illustrate the full spectrum of what we witnessed through this program, we never want to showcase shame. We're here to eliminate it. And sometimes the reality of hunger doesn't look the way we expect it to. While you won't see my very camera-shy friends in the following video, I invite you to witness the impact of this work through our neighbors at the Vintage, an affordable senior housing community where this program has not only met real need, both obvious and less visible, but strengthened connection, deepened relationships, and brought a greater sense of community to the place that they call home.
My name is Sheila Burns. I live at the Vintage in Bremerton, and I've been here about 6 months. As soon as I moved in here, I realized that food was going to be a major budget item. And every time I had been to the groceries, the price had gone up and up and up, like $1 or even $2. I do have challenges of going to go to the grocery store and get there. First of all, I no longer drive. I stopped driving a few years ago. I gave my car to my grandson. And if I go to the grocery store, I have to bring my walker because I have to sit down frequently due to back pain. And I can't really lift anything very heavy at all. And so those are pretty major challenges.
My name is Jaylene Young, and I live here at the Vintage Apartments here in Bremerton. Some of my challenges in life have been a bad back. So having groceries on the go delivered to my apartment is extremely helpful. That way I don't have to lift a lot. I mean, I do go out and stuff, but I can't go out for long because of my back. So getting groceries on the go and having it delivered to my door is extremely helpful for me.
I heard about the Groceries on the Go program. There was a notice on the bulletin board down here by the elevator, so I decided to call and see if I might qualify for that. So that's how I found out about the program.
I heard about Groceries on the Go from two of the ladies that actually put together and distribute the boxes. They were the ones that told me about it, so I applied for it because I had just moved here and I was struggling a bit.
I would tend to be stressed out for one thing about my budget, because that's one thing that's always bothered me. If I feel like I don't have enough money or I can't get food that I need, I probably would eat some things like crackers with butter on them instead of a regular meal. It's really good for me to not have to figure out or think a lot about what I'm going to have to eat. Because if I have to do that, if there's no food available, then I tend to not eat very well.
I'm Bruce Jacobson, and I'm a resident here at the Vintage. My favorite thing about delivering groceries is I get to see these people every time, and they're grateful. They're very happy to see me. I found that people are really grateful for me to show up with their groceries. When the trucks arrive, we unload the boxes, and I deliver to probably about 16 residences. When I deliver to some neighbors, they're in wheelchairs, they're in walkers, and I'm more than happy to bring their groceries in and put them wherever they want them, on the counter or on the floor.
One of the things I really like about Groceries on the Go, first of all, it's reliable. I mean, it's something that you know is going to be here every other Thursday. And I really like the fact that there's a variety of food.
Grocery on the Go brings me fresh vegetables and like spinach and avocados, yum yum, because I love avocados, carrots. The staples are like noodles and broth, chicken broth, which I can utilize and spread out through the weeks.
We get like fresh fruit and fresh vegetables, so there might be spinach or green pepper or cucumbers or bananas or even mangoes. So it's always kind of fun to see what's in the packages.
When I get my box of food on the go, groceries on the go, of course I go through everything. Sometimes some little surprises in there, brownies and little protein bars and such. I eat what's given to me, and I'm grateful for that.
And then the last time they started sending some recipes, which was great. It means I can get like 2 or 3 meals out of one package of food.
Because I get groceries on the go, I'm able to save resources so I can do fun things with my granddaughter. It helps a lot.
I would say this is a really great program because there's a variety of foods. Like we usually get something like eggs or cheese or meat, or spinach is pretty high in protein. And that's important to keep up your strength and energy, especially when you're elderly or disabled.
There's a sense of community here. I've seen a lot of positive energy in the whole place. I mean, I really enjoy living here, and most people are friendly, and they're really grateful for what you people do. I believe that.
It's really great when donors give to Bremerton Foodline, because it's something that a lot of people find they can rely on.
And for you donors out there, we at the Vintage really appreciate what you do for us. Your contribution today makes a great impact on Bremerton Foodline.
Your donations today for Groceries on the Go would be extremely helpful for a lot of us residents, and so we are extremely thankful for your donations.
Thank you for donating to Bremerton Foodline.
I'm grateful for Bremerton Foodline.
From all of us at the Vintage, thank you very much.
Thank you, David and Aaron, and those courageous residents of the Vintage. I hope you're hearing what I'm hearing. Bremerton Foodline is on the move. They're moving inside their pantry and warehouse to serve more people more efficiently. They're moving food across the county through partnerships in the community. And they're moving in our neighborhoods, bringing food directly to people who need it most. This kind of impact doesn't happen alone. It takes collaboration, it takes commitment, and it takes all of us. Speaking of strong partnerships, it's my honor to introduce our next speaker. Sean Gilfetter, President and CEO of Kitsap Credit Union, represents an organization deeply committed to this community and to the mission of Bremerton Foodline. Sean will help us take the next step, how each of us can be part of this momentum. Please join me in welcoming Sean.
Thank you, Jay. Like many of you, I'm seeing firsthand across our community, the cost of living is rising, and it's not slowing down. Gas is up, cost of food is up, and many families, there's simply no cushion left. Kitsap Credit Union serves many of you in this community, and we recognize that the challenges are real. But when I had the chance to volunteer at the Bremerton Foodline with my daughters, I saw something more. I just didn't see the need. I saw how this community responds to the need. I saw people treated with dignity. I saw real care in how the services were delivered. And I saw an organization that isn't standing still, as Corey had shared with all of you earlier today. It's adapting, expanding, thinking ahead, thinking of ways of collaboration. And that's what makes Bremerton Foodline special. They're not just addressing today's hunger, they're building systems that will reduce it over time. They're reaching people who have never had to ask for help before. And they're doing it in a way that strengthens the entire community. That kind of work doesn't just happen by accident, and it doesn't happen without the support of all of you. So today, I'm asking you to be a part of it, be a part of this movement. Many of you came here with a number in mind, and since I'm a financial guy, I just ask you to add a 0 to that number to make a difference. Because every gift plays a big role in making, this work possible. Your gift today will keep food on the shelves, expand the delivery to those who cannot travel, strengthen partnerships across our region, and ensure that no one in our community is left behind. And to give that some context, here is how your dollars will count. $125 equals 2 weeks' worth of groceries for a family of 4. $250 feeds a senior for a month via home deliveries. $500 ensures Bremerton Foodline can provide 1 pallet of food to the meal partners for a month. $1,500 provides 500 households the protein they need for 2 weeks. And $5,000 helps invest in long-term solutions for food insecurity. So thanks to the Bremerton Foodline Board, not only for your volunteerism, but today, for every gift over $250, they will be matching up to $20,000, doubling the impact of your generosity today. There are a number of ways to give, whether it's a one-time contribution, your monthly support, stock offerings, or a legacy commitment. And because this work is only possible when the community chooses to show up and take action, right now is one of those moments. So I want you all to share a word with me today. When I say on 3, I want you to say together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, together. Oh, I think we can do better than that. One more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, together. That's right, because together we can ensure that no one in our community goes hungry. So at this time, I'm going to ask your table captains to please open those envelopes on the table and share the donation envelopes with your guests. We'll take a few minutes here today, and then Jay will come back up and close for this morning. And I thank you all for your generosity.
Thank you, Sean, and thank you all. Because of you, lives will be changed. Because of you, families will be fed. Because of you, our community will be stronger. We are so grateful you chose to spend your morning with us and to stand with Bremerton Foodline. Now, we'd love to continue the conversation, but as you may know, we have a lunch right after this. Please join the Bremerton Foodline staff, board members, table captains, and partner agencies in the lobby, where we'll have some time to mingle while the event staff resets this room for us. The work doesn't end here. It continues with each of us. On behalf of the Bremerton Foodline board, staff, and table captains, thank you for being part of this movement and for helping ensure that no one in this community goes hungry. Have a wonderful afternoon.